Episode 1. The Silent Room. I woke up to the sound of my own heartbeat. Everything was blurry, and I couldn't move. My arms were tied down. My legs were strapped to the table. I couldn't even scream. There was a woman in a white coat standing next to me, her hands gloved. Her eyes never left mine. "Don't worry," she whispered, "this will be over soon." Her voice was cold, and something in it made my skin crawl. It all started when I needed a routine checkup. I'd been feeling off for weeks, tired, dizzy, and weak. I went to see Dr. Evelyn Rose. I'd heard she was good. The clinic wasn't fancy, but the reviews were fine. It was in a quiet part of town, and I didn't think much of it at first. The receptionist greeted me with a smile, but there was something strange about it. Too wide. Too tight. She quickly handed me a form and told me to sit. When Dr. Rose came out, she was all smiles. She seemed nice enough, but there was something about her eyes. They were too calm, almost like she wasn't really seeing me. "You look like you need a rest," she said, leading me to an exam room. "Let's take a look at you." The exam was routine at first. Blood pressure, temperature, pulse. But then she suggested a few more tests. "I want to be thorough," she said. "A lot of patients with your symptoms have underlying issues. We can catch them early if we check." I didn't think anything of it. She hooked me up to a few machines, took some more blood, and then gave me a shot. "You might feel sleepy," she said, "but don't worry, it's just to help you relax for the scan." I nodded off almost immediately, the world fading out around me. The next thing I knew, I was awake, but it didn't feel like I was supposed to be. The room was cold and quiet. My limbs were still tied down, and I couldn't move. My head was foggy, and the air felt thick. Dr. Rose was standing next to me again. Her gloved hands were holding something small and shiny. I couldn't see it clearly, but it looked like a needle. "Good, you're awake," she said. "I need to finish what I started. This is for your own good." I tried to scream, but my throat was dry. My body didn't respond. I could only watch as she moved closer, the needle in her hand glinting in the dim light. I don't know how long I was out after that. When I woke up again, I was in a different room, hooked up to machines. I couldn't remember much of what had happened. But over the next few days, I started to piece things together. Dr. Rose wasn't just a regular doctor. She had a reputation, one I didn't hear about until later. People said she'd been doing strange experiments on her patients, things that were never approved. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized how little I remembered about what had actually been done to me. It was too late to ask. She was gone. The clinic had closed down. The receptionist was nowhere to be found. I left, but I'm still not sure what she did to me. I can feel something inside, like I'm not completely myself. And I'm not sure I ever will be again.